What's going on, guys? StoneTheGamer here with our review of One Piece Manga Chapter 994, and once again, it's a great chapter. Let's not waste any time and jump right in. First things first, we are finally done with Gang Beige's Oh My Family after what it feels like forever. I know we're all have to be moving on from this story. Not quite sure what we're going to do for a cover page next, but so happy we're done with that. The chapter starts off with Kiku's arm falling to the ground, and I really like how no one panicked or sunk into despair, and Kinemon and Izo just ran over without any type of hesitation. Izo applied pressure to his wound, and Kinemon used his Foxfire style to cauterize the wound. It was excellent work. I was really worried that we were just going to have scabbards just getting picked off one by one, but it seems like we are truly at the beginning of round 2 in this fight. Kiku gets up and is ready for more, and I have to give her some respect there. I thought she was done, but she kind of treated it like a flesh wound.
Now stand aside, worthy adversary.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then?
I've heard worse.
You liar.
Come on, you pansy.
But Kaido is loving it too. He even declares that he loves the way of the samurai, which is very, very, very cool for me. This is a man that is looking for a place to die, and he admires and respects those that are also living the life of a warrior. He seems to hope that he, along with even the Red Scabbers, can find a meaningful and prideful death, even when they're fighting each other, and he says death is what completes a person. And at this point, he is reverting back to his human form. It's actually really cool every time we get to see him go from this giant dragon form back to his human form. And, I could not be more terrified. He looks ready to give out a beating. It's about to go down, and I don't feel good for the scabbards. It's a really great panel. Kaido looks very, very intimidating. And Kinemon responds, really the only way you can respond. I understand what you're saying, but there's no glory in losing to you, which could not be more true. I mean, these guys travel through time. There is nothing. It's all or nothing. They don't want to lose. They can't die here. They have to win, and there's no honor in losing. But the chapter moves back down to the first level, and I love every time we get a look at a map of Onigashima. It's really cool to see all the levels and everything, and it's really nice to see this kind of progression from Luffy moving from the first level all the way eventually to the top where he'll be fighting Kaido. But we have Luffy, Sanji, and Jinbei running around, and the Beast Pirates are acknowledging Jinbei and Luffy, and of course Sanji does not appreciate it. It seems like he takes it a little personally. He wants his respect, and it's kind of funny seeing him become envious every time he's overshadowed, whether it's here or when Zoro saved Hiyori when he was running to save her earlier in the arc. But it's really funny, and the laughs don't stop here because this is where we get 4 Tricks and Hamlet.
Shirt so sexy it hurts, and I'm too sexy for Milan, too sexy for Milan, New York and Japan.
These guys are the laughs. I honestly don't know which one I would rather be. Let me know in the comments if you'd rather be 4 Tricks or Hamlet. I would never want to be a gifter. These guys always get the fodder treatment every time, but there's something about them that I just love, and I enjoy seeing them every single time. They always get these full-on introductions with their names and their status within the Beast Pirates, and then they're usually defeated on the same page, but I just want more for some reason. They are too funny, and it really shows Oda's imagination, and I just can't get enough. But we move on to the performance floor, and we see...
I'm tired, and I'm hungry, and my tail's froze, and my nose is froze, and my ears are froze, and my toes are froze.
Pandemonium is breaking out on the performance floor. We have the ice demons going on a rampage, and they are attacking friends and foes alike. Queen thinks this is amazing, but that's because he's sadistic as hell, and he's really enjoying the show. Boss Omasa gets infected, and he's about to attempt seppuku, which is suicide if you don't know, and Hyogoro stops him from doing so. He tells him not to give up hope, and there may be a cure, and he will strike him down himself if it comes to it. I may be alone on this, but I keep being surprised by Hyogoro. He's old and frail. When we first meet him, he is so out of the loop on what's going on, and his will is kind of broken. But every time we see him since he's joined the fray, he's cutting down opponents, he's boosting the morale of the samurai, he's giving out orders. I just have to give him a shout out because I didn't expect him to be doing this much, and it's really cool to see. I'm really happy what's going on with this character. So Chopper states that he can create an antidote if he gets his hands on the antibodies needed to mass produce a cure for the Ice Diamond Plague. With Queen right there, it's the best opportunity they have to get it. This gets me very excited because we get to see Chopper in action at doing what he does best, which is being a doctor. Of course, I'd love to see him fight, but I also really want to learn what he's learned during the time skip. So far, on every island that we've been on, we've had to deal with a plague or illness of some kind, if you think about it. On Punk Hazard, we had Shiro Kuni. And Zo, we had the poisonous weapon that Jack used. And now here we have the Ice Demon Plague, and I feel like this is going to be his biggest challenge yet. Now, this is the only panel I kind of have a problem with, and not so much of a problem from a story point, but just the fact that it's just like weird, the fact that Queen can hear the conversation between Rob and Zoro and Chopper, and he reveals that everyone will die if they've been infected within an hour's time, because somehow throughout all the chaos, Queen is just able to hear the entire conversation they're having between all the screaming and the yelling and the killing and the fighting. He can hear them. It doesn't make really that much sense to me, but whatever, I'm not going to, dwell on it for too long. Now here's where everything becomes more interesting, and I believe when we look back at this arc in the future, we may say this is the moment where they have the biggest blunder in the arc. Apoo is attempting to leave the floor because it doesn't look like anyone's going to be walking out of there except for Queen. If the Ice Demons have their way, Queen is fine with everyone dying. He already said so. So I mean, I don't think Apoo is someone that Queen is actually intent on keeping alive if he has to. He is just wants these ice demons to go crazy. He loves this deadly game, and he throws the antibodies to Apoo and says, hey, survive for an hour and everyone that's infected will die, and if you lose, I'm going to kill you myself. So he puts, I actually think it was really hilarious. It's more hilarious than Four Tricks and Hamlet because Apoo didn't ask for it all. It reminds me of when Usopp was given the 500 million bounty in Dressrosa, and he couldn't believe it, and everyone just looks at him with bloodlust. Zoro immediately takes off after him, and now we have a chance for Apoo versus Zoro. This could go so many different ways. I actually really hope it doesn't. I hope we get Brook versus Apoo, because I'm just on that train. I want to see music versus music. But Zoro does need his source to attack, so I don't know if he'll be able to cover his ears if they do end up fighting. Maybe we'll get some type of no sword style with him covering his ears and something crazy like that. No idea. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I honestly can't wait to see it. But I really hope we get Apoo versus Brook. I think the fan base wants that more than anything else. I'm actually a part of that, but who knows? Apoo could very well turn coat and hand the antibodies over. He has literally everyone chasing him. Queen wants a deadly game, and he's made Apoo a part of it. It could be a catalyst for Apoo coming over to the Alliance side, but now we're at the best part of the chapter, hands down. Let's do this. Yamato stands before Sasaki in the armor corps, and oh man, I did not realize the guy was a Rhino Smile. I really thought that he was sitting on like the middle of the Rhino and Sasaki was chilling at the top, but no, it's a Rhino Smile. It's a Rhino Smile. These guys seriously get the shortest end of the stick I've ever seen in anything ever. At this point, they make losing your emotions seem tolerable. Like, I'd really rather just smile all the time than, have my head coming out of a butt, for example. It's ridiculous. Wow. All right. But anyway, Momo and Yamato finally get a proper introduction here, and we have Shinobu begging Yamato to help. And Yamato explains that she was at Odin's execution and that the events brought tears to her eyes. And it shows Shinobu talking about how dare they call Odin a fool of a lord and everything. And she says, the way Odin lived his life brought tears to my eyes. And it's such a great panel. It's so cool. As she's saying this, and it took a while for me to really understand what was happening because they showed like, I guess they showed kind of a noise animation for I don't know if it's cannonballs or whatever explosives that Yamato's hit with. They showed the sound of them being loaded, but she gets hit directly with this big massive explosion, and she stands strong and she readies an attack, and she just crushes one of Sasaki's subordinates very easily, and she stands there looking ultra super badass and goes, my name is Yamato and I would die for you. And that's the chapter. It gives so many emotions. I want to see it so bad. I want the fight But we're on break next week. We just gotta wait. We just gotta wait. We gotta wait. And I can't wait.
Can't wait.
I can't wait. I would love to get through this fight next chapter so we can get Mo somewhere safe. I feel like once we get him somewhere safe, we really could focus on these battles and, you know, get to Kaido. We know the tragedy's still coming, especially with Kaido back in his humanoid form. He's by far his most dangerous that we've seen in that form. But we're on break next week, guys. Let me know how you feel about the chapter down below. Of course, comment on any questions you have for me. Share on all social media platforms and hit that subscribe button so you can get our notifications. Until then, this is StoneTheGamer signing out. I hope everyone has a great rest of the day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later, y'all.